Hey there guys, what is going on? We have a new map in Cold War, the mid-season update, meaning we have a new map guide for you, and this is the map guide for Rush. Now, keep in mind that this is actually a very interesting map, and a really good one in my opinion. Starting off with the flags, here we do have the A, we have the B, and we have the C flag. They are sort of centered around this middle lane here. There is a catwalk on the left-hand side, and there is a sort of paintball style room on the right hand side. So there's a lot of interesting stuff to cover here. And because this is basically just designed for this kind of warfare anyway, well, paintball at least, you get so many different lines of sight. And if we were to list them all here, this video would probably be about half an hour long. And nobody wants to sit through a half an hour video just being like, oh, you can look through this way and sit up here, and then you can just shoot people coming from that spawn. Actually, this is a pretty good spot though. Anyway, basically, we aren't going to be able to cover every single spot and every single line of sight here today, but we're just going to cover some of the main ones and take a look at some of the more interesting stuff in this map. Just before we do get into it here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on, just in case you don't want to miss out on any of the upcoming mid-season update content. We've got loads of stuff to cover here, and this map is so super cool here. So let's get started. So as I said, we do have the A flag here, and this is the outside paintball course. As you can see, it looks over into the back over there. The A flag is sort of just in the middle of this little lane here, as well as this. And a lot of people do usually come around here when they are trying to take or retake the A flag. So they will sit here, take you out, and so on. But again, as I was saying, there is so many different spots on this map, as it is literally designed for this kind of combat. So there's so many different things you can hide behind, get those lines of sight. You can even put like a trophy system or something else here, like a field microphone in this spot. But again, there is so many different things that you can look at, so many different things you can hide behind. A lot of people do come down from that catwalk, and you can also just sort of like hop your way up here. Just wait for people to come out of this walkway. People typically don't look up here when they come down here. They'll just be like, no, where is everybody? And they can't see you if you're up there. But again, this is going to take a little while for me to cover all of the spots because there is just so much stuff to cover on this map, man. Again, if we look at this, you see a cover. Most of the stuff that you can hide behind is going to be fairly good cover. And we're going to try our best to try and sort of show off the best lines of sight. This is a pretty good one to hold the A flag here. A lot of people who do come from this way won't really look in this. I think you can be shot through that. Maybe. Yeah, it does look like you can actually shoot through that. So you're not really in good cover here, but somebody might not look here if you are sort of defending the A flag. Let's take a look at the catwalk style upstairsy bit first. Again, there is like a little concrete bit back here where you can actually defend this position, defend the ramp down. Again, you can defend it from this side as well. This is a fairly common spot for people to sit, including sitting behind this as well. This is a nice little head glitch for people to come down here. Also, people will usually sort of head glitch this ramp here if you are coming from this side, coming down this catwalk here. Most of the time, people will just sit here and wait for you to peek. So that is kind of interesting. This is another interesting spot here. Again, if you are sort of coming up this ramp, people will be sitting here a lot of the time. There's just a lot of places you can sit. From here, you can see pretty much the entire mid lane. You can see down there. You can definitely see that that ramp is designed to jump up there. And again, you can see pretty much almost the A flag. All that building there is particularly important. That does connect the sort of paintball room area inside to sort of the mid lane as well. So a lot of people do sit in this room. So chuck your frags, chuck your grenades in that room there, and you'll probably get a kill. Again, moving a little bit further onto this wooden bit here, you can see that there is a little hole for people to sit through. Again, you can shoot through all of that. That is entirely made of like plasterboard wood, and just you can shoot through all of that and get a decent amount of kills here. This is a pretty common thing for people to hide behind. They will run up this ramp and go, yep, I'm going to sit straight here, and you can shoot them through this. So don't just worry about shooting in the head. If you get bullets near them, you'll definitely get some shots on them and do some damage here. You can also sit and see sort of people coming up the ramp. You can sort of use this as a little bit of cover. And again, same barrel idea. You can see somebody who is sitting in that little corner there come around and maybe a jump peek on the guy who's sitting back there, or even the guy who's sitting on that one there. That's a little tougher to hit. Moving on further, we see the reverse angle of the other side of this. Again, you can see all the way into that little room there. There is the ramp where people do love to come. They sprint and then just basically jump up here. And again, you can see all of the mid lane, just sort of see people sitting on the B flag. Again, chuck your grenades at that blue container there. Your Semtexes will stick to that, and you can get an easy kill on the B flag. Again, you can see all the way back there. This is a fairly good sniping position, and so is that one as well. So just keep this in mind if you are looking for some sniping spots. This is a good one. And then this side does wrap all the way back around to the other side of the spawn where the C flag is. There's a lot of dumpster cars, and there's like a lot of stuff going on over here. You mostly spawn. I've spawned here like 6 times in a row one time, and you spawn back here as well for the most part. And then you sort of take a look at some of the parts of the map. Most people will get here. This side does actually get here first, so that is interesting. You can usually line up some kind of shot on this guy who is peeking around the corner, because you will get here first, so just keep that in mind. Again, as we move around, people do actually sit up here sometimes, so if you are coming from this way and you don't check this spot, somebody might be sitting here and just waiting for you to get taken out. That has happened to me at least twice, so just keep this spot in mind. Again, this is where people like to sit. There might be a field microphone or something in this spot as well, because it's kind of out of the way, so just remember this one. You can sit in the bus in the middle here, and it does see towards the B flag. This is a fairly good place to hold the B flag. But if you are just sitting here, definitely people can sneak up from the pro shop and come all the way into here and just easily take you out. I literally was unlocking the OTS9, had a smoke grenade. There was a guy sitting here. I threw the smoke grenade at him and I just tapped him a couple of times and he was dead. So very, very easy to get taken out on that spot. Again, let's go have a look at the B flag in the middle here. In the middle here, there's a lot of different stuff to hide behind. Again, if we talked about every single thing to hide behind, especially this spot, this is actually really good. Defending the pro shop from this angle is really, really nice. And that spawn as well. There isn't really anything similar on the other side. You can just sort of hold this little bus corner. Again, there is an underbit. A lot of people do sit in here and sort of take a look at the resupply box and try and defend the B flag from under here. This is a really, really strong position. Because if you do put a field microphone down here, you see the top as well. And if people are moving around, you will know exactly where they are. And if they are sitting above you, it's probably best not to fire your gun at least for a little bit. And they might jump down. They might be able to take you out. So you can hold the C flag. You can hold the B flag from here. And you can sort of hold the wraparound in that corner there. So just... this is a super, super strong position. I usually hold this most of the time. This is a really strong spot in my opinion. Again, the B flag is basically a little bowl where you can stick a lot of different explosives to that barrel there, that thing there, those barrels there. Again, there's a lot of stuff that you can just sort of, can't really jump up on that, which is a little unfortunate, but you can jump up on here and you can actually cap the B flag on here. This is a terrible spot to cap the B flag from because you will just get taken out, but it is interesting to know. A lot of people will stick their field upgrade equipment in that grassy spot there and this spot here again. You can shoot through all of the wooden bits on this map. So again, if somebody is hiding behind this and you think you can get a shot on them, start shooting through stuff. You might end up getting a kill there. And again, this side as well. More B flag stuff. But again, this is mostly just a bowl for people to chuck grenades in and that's pretty much it. A lot of people do sit here. This is a fairly common spot. Most of the time people will duck in and out of here and they will be an easy target if you are up in this little bit. Again, taking a look at here. If people are sitting there looking out of this window here, you are just a sitting duck for people who are up there. So just keep this in mind. You think you're in cover here and you're like, yeah, this is a safe spot. But again, people can shoot through these wood bits and sort of the bricky bits on this map. You can actually shoot through them. And again, people will just shoot you from there. One of the most important rooms in the entire map is this connector building here. Again, this is the locker building. You can see that this does connect the awesome, awesome inflatable paintball arena. This is so, so sick, man. I love this part. I mean, I don't understand why they don't use this sort of paintball style aesthetic. This kind of laser tag-esque buildings more. I just love this aesthetic, man. It's really, really clean. Again, it is pretty obvious what you can do in here. Like most of the time, this is really self-explanatory. You can sort of sit behind a lot of these. It is interesting that you can't just... maybe it's full of hay and not actual air. They're not inflatable. Maybe it's full of hay or something. But you can see the details. Like there's a lot of just paintball pellets on the ground. And that is so, so cool. An interesting spot about this is that is actually a window there and you can chuck grenades out of all these windows up here. Even chuck them over the roof if you do prefer. So you might get tomahawked or something like that. If somebody chucks a tomahawk over here, it might land on your head if you are in this building. And of course you aren't really safe from kill streaks in here, but you kind of are. So it's sort of a little iffy with that. But again, these are all windows that you can shoot out and chuck grenades out. So just keep that in mind. If you do want to chuck a grenade at the A flag, probably line it up here. You can almost hit it as it is, but again, chuck them over the top there and you might get some work done. I just love it, man. 6 to 8. Oh, the scoreboard stopped ticking, but that is okay. Again, the pro shop is a fairly interesting area. A lot of people do sit here. A lot of people sit in this corner as well. And again, people sit behind this and wait for people to come in that way and then hold this door. Again, at the back here, you can sort of sit here and just sort of head glitch this spot. Nice, cheeky little spot from here. You can actually... can you move that? Can you move the helmet? Not really, but you can actually shoot through this bit here and you can see somebody coming. They might not be able to see you very clearly. And then it's actually intentional. That side of this side isn't open, but this side is. So that's kind of cool. That's a neat little spot there. If you are not using this, it might be worth using. It might be worth taking a look at if you are defending the hard point that is in here, because people do come in here and they'll be just like, oh, wait, where are the guys? And if you're just sort of laying down here all goofy, just waiting to shoot through this window, very, very cool spot. Again, you see these guys, as the cutouts here, you will shoot these. Again, another little window that you can shoot at. That is a decent grenade spot for the C flag. But again, you can just chuck the grenade over there. So maybe sort of angle it this way. You might get some stuff towards the middle of the map. But again, you will come out of this room here and see the overview of this. Again, a window you can shoot through. And you'll come out of here and just be like, yeah. Oh, God. And there's an enemy on top of this thing. I've shot this before. I've shot this a number of times now. It is a little distracting that there is actual people on there. But it is what it is here. This room can be a little tricky because of those guys. And you just sort of reflex shoot them and you reveal yourself when it's not good. Again, I think you can climb up on all of the buildings and stuff back here. Oh, the buildings, the cars and stuff out here. Nice little cop car you can jump on the top of. Again, you can jump on this one. Use this as a decent spot, really. People aren't usually going to be expecting to see you up here. So if you're trying to get a little cheeky angle on someone that might not be expecting, this can be useful. But again, not super great spots. Again, that's a little bit more cover. But again, they can see you if you are shooting you from back there. And you can jump on this one as well. Hey, it's my YouTube channel. Why is this here? That's weird. Again, if we take a slightly closer look at the middle of the map here, I have a decent spot. This is fairly obvious to some people, and other people will just not know this. You can actually jump up on the resupply box and then jump in this window here. Really nice spot. Again, if you get the right sort of distance and movement speed, you can get up there very, very quickly on that ladder to take this spot, because this is a crucial part of the map. A lot of people sit there. A lot of people use this spot to sort of control these areas, especially this room. That is particularly important, as I mentioned earlier. And then again, you can actually bounce grenades and stuff off this area. So if you chuck like a Semtex, or not a Semtex because it'll stick, a frag or like a stun grenade off this wall here, it will end up bouncing in here. You got to think of this as a little bit of a rebound room. You can just sort of chuck stuff off the walls and it will get around the corner eventually into a decent spot. So check your flash on this part of the wall here, maybe that part of the wall there, and it will bounce and hit somebody who is sort of waiting for you here. So a decent little spot. Grenade spots, just chuck them at these walls here and you might end up getting some kills or some stuns or some flashes, whatever you do prefer. This is a fairly interesting corner for people to sit in. It looks over nothing over there. That is outside of the map. And again, if people are just sort of sprinting down this hallway and you're sitting here, you can take advantage of that sometimes, but keep in mind, again, you will not get here first compared to the other spawn. It is just closer to get to there first. So if you just rip over here and you're just like waiting for people to come to you, they know you're there, dude. You're not fooling anyone by sitting there straight off the spawn. But if you are just hiding here sometimes, you maybe have your field microphone set up here. You can control this entire hallway with a couple of different field microphones. So this is a good spot, but again, people might check it, so just keep this spot in mind. But again, as I was saying, it is kind of tough to evaluate some of the lines of sight on this map, as there is just so many things. You can defend the A flag from this spot back here. This goes all the way around the other side, and again, because this is designed as sort of a combat style area anyway, a lot of the lines of sight and a lot of the spots are really, really obvious to most people, because you'll just see here, you're like, oh, where can I shoot from there? You can see that window, you can see that door, but it is blocked off by that. That is interesting. Again, move around the right-hand side. Again, you can see all the way back there. There's a hard point back there, and you can shoot people who do sit behind that. Keep in mind of that spot there that we mentioned earlier. That is a tiny little spot to see through, but again, the other side looks really, really nice. Again, the other side, and you can see here, it's just really obvious where most of the lines of sight on this map are, and it's covered off nicely. You can't see that door from over here, so you have to reveal yourself, which is it's just really well designed. A lot of the Black Ops 2 maps are just so super well designed in this game, and it's so nice to see this kind of map design, man. I just really, really do enjoy it. Again, sort of the middle of the map is most of the combat here. You will see a lot of people hiding in this spot. We already mentioned that, but that's sort of it, really. Like, realistically, there isn't too much rest of the map that we can talk about here. Again, the pro shop can be a little tricky sometimes, especially with the cardboard cutouts of the guys. But this spot here, you will see a lot of people just sitting in the corners. I mean, this spot here, actually, check this corner. Check this corner every single time you come in here, because I've come in here a number of times now and just been like, no. And there's just been a guy just chilling, sitting there, doing absolutely nothing and just wasting his own time. He bought this game for like $50, $60, $100, and he's just wasting his own time sitting in this corner. So check this corner, please. You will die if you don't. Again, because this is a fairly dark corner, people can sit in here and wait for you to sort of walk into here as well. They'll just be like, la. And they'll just sit in here and you're like, why? Wasting your own time, man. Just run around the map. It's so cool. There's a lot of cover to hide behind. And again, if you are looking from here, always check this spot, because people will be sitting in that area of the map looking out over the sun. And if you can just get a nice shot on them there, this is a fairly powerful position here. But again, it does connect these two hallways, so a lot of action comes through here. But again, without going over the fine-tooth comb part of the map, every single little line of sight, you can see there, you can see there, you can see there. Like, this would take all day to sort of talk about every single line of sight on this map. Hopefully this did help you out and give you a decent overview of the map where you can and can't hide. This is a nice spot to hide, sort of wait for people to come up the ramp. But again, you can be shot through here. You can actually get snuck up on. I mean, we haven't really shown this off yet, but it is very, very obvious to most people. You see here, there's an arrow. There's an arrow to go up, and you go up and you jump in here. Very smart. But again, hopefully this did help you out, give you a little bit of an idea of what this map is and how it plays. But again, thank you very much for watching this one. If you do want to see more map guides, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it really does help me out. We're going to be looking at the OTS9 very, very soon, a full class setups, a couple of videos on that, so don't miss out on any of the upcoming stuff, guys. Again, thank you very much for watching, and if you do find your way back here, I will see you in the next video. Bye!